When you're Super Bowl champions, man, the turnaround is real. It comes around real quick, and we got some in-house keeping to do. The road to repeat starts right now.
I've been
I
twice.
want. I just feel like it's been a while since we've seen an ass whooping. Like I'm talking about like Denver, Seattle ass whooping from
Oh, dude,
fucking
fucking. I want that. So you know
from fucking kickoff to the end of the game. Just a complete ass whooping.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Let's hunt.
If we don't come together right now on this hollow ground.
Where are you going? I'm going to pick a fight.
Gives us nothing!
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is that why you're here?
Let the games begin. This is where we hold them! This is where we fight! This is where they die!
Yeah, I think
I'm going to Disney World.
Hey, not bad. It's growing on me. It's growing on me a little long tooth. No. But I like it. It's bringing back the memories, right? Bringing back them feel-good memories, man. Want to welcome everybody to another episode of Victory Mondays podcast. I am your host. I am the player. They call me Moss Money, and I got the GM with me, Ernie B. What's up, bro, man? Happy new NFL. Did the New Year kickoff yet? I know we got some dates to go through, but did it kick off officially yet, or are we still there? Technically, right? Technically,
yet. We're not there yet, but we're right there. Every team is. All 32 teams are. They're ready for it, but it's not technically there.
Yeah, it's funny. This weekend I was out Pittsburgh doing college, I guess, visiting with my daughter, and oh man, the Go Birds, the bird love was in full force. One of the girls who were talking and making a speech shouted me out. She's like, "Yeah, I'm from Allentown. I know it's not Philly, but I just want to shout out the guy in the Phillies jacket. Go Birds." Then you can hear the Go Birds just echo through the room, and I just told her to make sure when you talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, you talk about the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Make sure you put some respect on that damn name. Make sure you put some respect on this damn pod. If you're new to the show, if you like talking football, you like to nerd out a little bit about the numbers, the cap, free agents, that's what we do here on this show on Victory Mondays. We just don't talk about birds, but we go behind the scenes with my guy in the GM to my or your right, or your left, wherever you're watching. We get right into it, and we're going to get right into it right now. Today's show is going to be a stay or go on all our housekeeping in-house for all our unrestricted free agents. There will be some other there's some restricted free agents, exclusive rights free agents. We even have that rare street free agent that I saw out there as well. We'll talk about what those terms and those things mean. But first, we want to do a stay or go kind of game. You guys are more than welcome to join as we go through the list of stay or go through all our unrestricted free agents. So let's bring up the list. I don't know, man. I'll jump around here. I don't know if I want to go with the big boys right out the gate.
Whatever order you want to go, I'm ready for it.
You ready for it? All right.
I like that. Switch it up. Don't start off with the switch it up.
All right, here we got one for you here. We switch it up right out the gate. Isaiah Rodgers.
Oof, that's a good one.
Isaiah Rodgers has started off number 34, got some tick. Slay was on his Jason Peters, right, in and out of the lineup for the tail end, I would say, of the year. Rodgers played on special teams, did well, battled from my end, kind of up and down a little bit. Had some good spots and some good games, and then other ones
opportunities. Remember, he was a plug and play guy. It wasn't a you get to prepare mentally the night before kind of thing, or hours before the game.
Yeah, and per PFF in 2024, he had 434 snaps. He was graded the fifth best corner out of 118. Obviously, that was limited snaps with the Colts, but as a starter, if I'm not mistaken. And then this past year, he actually played almost as close as many snaps, 421 snaps, graded out 24th out of 116. So there's always talk about Slay, right? There's room, Slay already came out and said it's either Eagles or Detroit he's going to play for. He does have one more year on his contract, so he is here. The question is do you pay him, was it 13, 14 million?
Well,
let me see. Where's
the kicker with Darius Slay is the $16 million option, the $16.1 million option bonus that must be exercised by the start of the 2025 regular season. So basically what that does is that forces Darius Slay and the Philadelphia Eagles to come into conversations about a contract before this point. That point would be the start of the new league year, which is 2 weeks from now, Wednesday. That's March 12th. But that is going to be their deadline. They can push that back like I believe the Vikings did with Aaron Jones. So they can do that. From what I understand, both sides are open to negotiating a deal. It's just going to matter and see where things go.
And when you say negotiate a deal, are you talking about just negotiating 1 year deal, or they're going to actually give him another year?
Well, Slay, you need to renegotiate this year. This year is in flux because the money is in that bonus. So they could cut Slay before the new league year, and they wouldn't have to pay him that $16.1 million worth of cash. That comes out of Mr. Lowry's pocket himself. So they have a decision to make. Now, Slay kind of insinuated in that podcast with the St. Brown podcast that it would be either the Eagles or the Lions. And I think what that means is not whether they exercise the option, but whether they sit down and renegotiate this year and try to figure out some way to maybe add void years to the contract to create current cap space, or if they decide to just agree on a number to play for the year. Brandon Graham did something similar last year. So what do you
think? What do you think happens here? Do you think Slay walks and they get Rodgers?
Well,
or you think Slay stays
wrap
for
up with
round?
Slay has always been a man that's about his money. Similar to what Matthew Stafford's doing right now in Los Angeles. Even at his age, he's saying, I want what I'm worth. Slay's been like that up into his age currently, even though he was the oldest starting cornerback last year in the NFL. With Rodgers, though, I just think they have Keely Ringo. They have Eli Ricks. So they are happy with the two of those players, and I'm sure Vic Fangio would like to see the two of those develop. Isaiah Rodgers, though, I think is a guy that I'd like to keep around. So you're saying stay? I would say stay with Rodgers. In my opinion, I would like a
1 year contract, or does he get actual?
I'd look at Amik Robertson signed a 2 for $9.25 with $4.5 million guaranteed with Detroit. I'd look at something similar to that. Mm-hmm. Mike Hughes signed a 2 for $7 with I believe Pittsburgh with $3.2 million guaranteed. He was 26 years old when he got that deal. I don't know. Rodgers feels like he needs to be somewhere around $10 million in actual money as far as guaranteed money. I'd say if we can keep it around that $5 million range, I think that'd be good for the Eagles. I think he's a player that is worth. He's their pivot. I mean, that's what it is. If they can't get something done with Slay, he's their pivot. But who's to say that someone doesn't snipe Rodgers before then? Who knows?
I'm going to go on the other side here. I'm going to say go. I'm not a big Ringo fan because I think I think he will have trouble with quick good route runners. He's a great straight line guy.
That's been his thing.
But I think that you need to see what you have in him. I think because by bringing Rodgers back, you kind of push Ringo down again.
Well, they also played Ricks over Ringo though in the slot when.
Ringo ain't a slot guy though. He's not.
But I mean, they didn't even give him a chance to do that. You know, I know he's
he would get cooked in the slot. He's not. He don't got those. He don't got those hips to turn.
Slot in practice, though, you know.
Yeah,
even at his size.
I mean, because the combine started today, and I saw some of Kenyon's his combine. Oh my goodness, he cooked.
Yeah,
he cooked the combine, bro. 4.3, got over to what 23, 24 miles an hour running some of the drills. He looked like he had hands at least in the combine, right?
Yeah.
Because he couldn't catch a pick for nothing this year. But
Oh, yeah, what? He looked like he had hands at Toledo too. I mean, that was
yeah. So for me though, Rodgers is I'm gonna say Rodgers is a go for me. I think you continue what you've been doing, go with the youth movement. I think Rodgers is going to look to someone get paid a little bit. So I think he'll be a listener out there. What's his market? And you know, for some of these guys, their value is no higher than it is now. And I think Rodgers might be looking to get paid, as a starter. All right, not bad. Let me see who we got here. Let's roll the dice here. Let's see. There we go. Kenny G. I think this one's a little bit easier. I'm a Kenny G fan just because he's been around for a little bit. He's paid his dues. And he showed up when the number's been called. He hasn't been great, but he hasn't been bad. He knows the system, knows the city, knows the players, knows the coaches. He's a good. He's not as good as Sproles because Sproles in my book is a Hall of Famer, but he's just a guy you want around, right? He's just a guy you want around. He does what he's told, but unfortunately, I think he's got to go. I'm not sure if they pay him what he might be looking for, but I'm not sure if he'll start anywhere. He'll always be a number 2. And unless you have, but in the league today, right? In the league today, even though the running back position is coming back, there's only certain places that have bell cow running backs and special talent like that. Everybody else is still going to do it by committee. So I expect him to get picked up by somewhere where he can, get some more numbers as number 2. Because coming in this year, I mean, to me, Shipley's going to be the number 2 and not the number 3.
I think that's purely said just by draft capital and contract. Kenny Gainwell was Sirianni's guy in the first draft class. He's a good football player. I like Kenny Gainwell a lot. I'd watch Kansas City for Kenny Gainwell. I could really see Shipley mirrors Saquon's game. No, not in any way, shape, or form. I can see the Eagles converting Anias. No, he's got good luck to make the roster. I bummed out on that one. Ty Davis-Price is good.
Is that the guy on the practice team?
Well, I mean, we're back to regular roster now, man. But he was signed to a reserve future contract.
Yeah.
Kieran Davis-Price, former third-round pick of the Niners at LSU. Hit some good numbers. In fact, Davis-Price, I mean, Gainwell's go. I mean, I think he goes. I don't think there's any chance he comes back, but I could also see him trying to test a market and maybe coming back, but I don't see it. I'm going to go with I'm actually going to go hard here and with a big prediction. I think he ends up with the Chiefs.
Really?
Yeah. I think Andy Reid would.
I mean, he's really a fit for them.
Really well with.
He's a fit for them. He's like a. I'm trying to think what he reminds me of. He's not a poor man's Brian Westbrook because he doesn't have he don't got that burst. I'm trying to think.
I mean, he doesn't really need the burst. I mean,
he catches the ball well, right out really of the backfield.
He lined up in college at Memphis on the outside. I mean, he played X at times.
He was played receiver at times. He can pass pro. He's pretty decent between the
really
tackles.
Good at pass pro. He was the best pass pro running back on the team.
Yeah,
better than Saquon.
And when you can block that, that always opens up everything.
I think Kenny Gainwell was a good football player. I mean, if he came back with the contract you have Shipley on, if you got him on a 1-year deal, I wouldn't put that past him, similar to how Boston Scott did a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they get that back, if they get Gainwell back, that's just a super positive.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of
I could also see the Broncos and Sean Payton really liking Kenny Gainwell.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a good fit for him. The Broncos are a good fit.
Chiefs are a really good fit.
Chiefs are a good fit. I think even he's not a. I want to say the Chargers, but maybe not. No, I don't think that's a good fit.
They're looking for. Come on, they're
looking for a bell cow.
Oh yeah, he wants that. He wants Najee Harris. He's
looking for a bell cow.
Najee Harris is on the open market. He's drooling.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that one was pretty easy. That one was pretty easy. Let me see what we got here. Who's on the list? Messed
Big
that.
Milt, man. Big Milt.
Let me see. All right, we'll run it, even though we can't see us. It's all good. No, we can't see us. It's all good. Yeah, I mean, let me see what I got here. Big
Milt
Williams.
Big
They let him, they kind of let him run this year. They didn't give him a deal last year, and he showed out.
They
showed up and
couldn't
showed
have
out,
gotten a deal
especially in the Super Bowl.
They couldn't have gotten a deal done with him last year. He wasn't eligible.
Would you consider? I gotta look it up. Would you consider him the best free agent, interior defensive lineman free agent on the market?
Yeah. I mean, he's up there. He's the best 3-tech. Yeah.
Mr. Walker says I would let Milton go get draft compensation since he's going to start somewhere else.
Yeah, Milton Williams will probably be the biggest comp pick formula, assuming by the numbers they're not going to go out and sign anybody else to a deal that big. Yeah, Milton Williams.
What you think his deal is? You think he's $20+ million a year?
Right around there, yeah. He's gonna get that. I mean, he's gonna get paid, dude. I mean, I'd look at Carolina, I'd look at New England, but those are two that I've heard could pay him a lot of money.
And just so we're sure, I mean, we're not sure, but we are clear on where 20 million puts him in the Dexter Lawrence conversation.
No. Not. We're talking more like Matabuke, Aleem McNeil, Derek Brown.
I'm just saying interior contract wise, 20 million a year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about not player. I'm talking about money wise. Like Derek Brown got a fuck ton of money, but I'd say more of an Aleem McNeil, who he was actually drafted.
So you think higher? Because those guys got 24 million a year. I'm looking at their contracts now.
Dexter Lawrence's money, though. Well,
so here's
average and guaranteed money are different. I mean,
yeah. So I'm just saying average per year.
Bag, Matabuke got the bag, 98 million, and he got
75 million. You guaranteed, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Lawrence got 59 million guaranteed on a $90 million contract.
Derek Brown got 59. Aleem got 55. That's where I'm talking about Milton with.
Yeah,
he's right there with Aleem McNeil.
Yeah, that's a top
different
5
positions, but yeah, they're in the same.
That's top 5.
It'll be up there.
Yeah. I'm with you. He's got. I mean, I'm not saying he's have to go. I would love for Milton to stay. It looks like
there's no way in fuck.
But there's no way they can pay him. Yeah, there's no way.
For those wondering though, they tried to work out an extension with Milton Williams all year long. They had been negotiating with Milton Williams since it opened in the new league year last year because he was a 3rd round pick. So he was on the 3rd year of his deal. So after the 3rd year of his deal, he could renegotiate.
Well, let me ask you this, because I think you jumped in we jumped in the chat earlier just to remind me of some other stuff. Does that mean that they're going to re-sign Davis if they let Milt walk?
I mean, they're going to pay Davis, yeah.
They're going to pay Davis. Okay. But
his numbers is 11.7 fully guaranteed for one. So the 5th-year option, they worked in a Devontae Smith extension. And when the 1st-round pick, the 5th-year option is exercised, it's fully guaranteed. Well, right. Davis's option by the way it works is at like 11.78 or something like that. So they would work that into the extension, but you'd pay half the price for Davis of what you pay for Milton, but you're also getting half the snaps, some could say. But yeah, I mean, Davis is a player for extension.
Yeah. I would agree to that too as well. I thought I had a tighter picture than Williams, so we can see us. I knew I did.
Big Milt, man. He's heading out to get paid. I'm gonna tell you.
I don't know. My bad. I don't know why I didn't have that picture up for Williams. Messed that up. But all right. But I agree. Yeah, he's a go. He's a go. Unfortunately.
But it's because he's gonna get paid. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Letting the player walk out the door. I mean, he's gonna get paid, and like
absolutely.
Marcus Amir Walker is talking about it. He's gonna add to the comp pick formula. That's one of the ones where you say we hit in the 3rd round, and they absolutely did. It was a home run draft pick. The 2nd contract, though, I've hit also in the D line in the 1st round, so I can't quite retain a player like this. And
Yeah.
Moro Ajomo slips right into play.
Yep.
It was the 7th round draft pick.
Yep. Here's a good one. Big Fred.
Yeah.
Fred Johnson. Got some tick this year as well. With Lane having some injuries there, and actually played, somewhat decent from what I remember from watching him play. I believe he's a swing tackle. I want to say he can play left, but he's more natural right. Not 100% sure of that.
He played both.
But I believe he can play both tackles. He's a first tackle off the bench. If anybody gets hurt, for me, this is a stay. I think he has to stay. I'm not
Eagles
sure.
offensive linemen get paid in free agency, so he's gone. He's going to get paid.
You think he's gone?
He's going to get paid.
You think somebody's going to pay him to start?
He put enough tape, dude. Mailata missed like 4 or 5 games. He's going to play. He's going to get paid.
Interesting. And where's he at? And it's time for him to get paid. Current average per year was only got 1.2 million. Guaranteed was only 200K. So, yeah, if they come knocking on Mr. Fred Johnson's door, I guess he will answer.
Yeah, somebody, and by paid, I mean he could get 10 million a year, but somebody's going to pay him.
Somebody's going to pay him. Yeah, I mean,
5 million a year is a paycheck for him.
Swing tackles are hard to come by, and not even in ones that have tape too as well.
And Darian Kennard is in place for the Eagles for that, so he played every preseason snap. Fred Johnson's going to get paid.
All right, let's keep the O-line going. Every offensive line has been paid by Big V, Driscoll. Yeah. They were starters, though. Big V wasn't
started games. I mean, Big V wasn't a starter, though.
He wasn't a starter, but he played the whole game. He played the whole,
Fred Johnson played 5 or 6 games as a starter this year.
Yeah, but Big Salamu and Big V, they went all the way to the Super Bowl play, though. They played in the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Sam Alou did when he was a starter. But Big V subbed in for the Super Bowl, yes.
Yeah. Let's keep the offensive line love going. Big fella. Mekhi Becton. There's a lot of conversation in the air. Guarded via PFF, 20th out of 77 guard. Over 1,100 snaps. I mean, Jeff Stoutland University, baby, did his thing with this guy. They did some other kind of the combine where you saw Becton, and you see why he was a top 6 pick, if I remember correctly, for the Jets.
Top 10.
He ran what did he run? I think he ran a sub 5 40, and I'm talking about 370. 6'8". Like that's a big boy moving. You know what I mean? I don't care if it's straight side to side. A little slow, obviously, a little high back in those days. I mean, but he's 6'8". So, oh man. For me, I'm gonna surprise you here, man. I'm gonna say go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say go. I think he's gonna want to get paid. I think he thinks that he has what it takes now to go play. I think
let's remember, and Steen is way above Trevor Keegan. They still really like Tyler Steen. Becton was signed after the draft for a 1-year, $5 million deal. Right. So Becton tested his market once. And could he test it again? I mean, I think he will.
Yeah. I just think what his value is.
I think Howie, I think he's one of the guys that Howie leaves with a slip that just says, if you don't get what you want, this is what we got.
And ballpark, what is that? What is what we got?
I'm thinking like 3 for 45. This is where things get kinky. Okay. Cam Jurgens is due to get paid. He's going to get a fat extension that should put him within the top 5 centers paid this year. You can book it. Unfortunately, we can't bet on stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
And that's in what, the 15 million, 10,
you'd have to
12
look
to
at like
15.
Creed, Frank Ragnow. I don't have it pulled up at the moment, but yeah, within the Creed, Frank Ragnow. I mean, he'd be in the top, top 5. They would put him up there.
Yeah.
Which he is well deserved. I mean, Juergens had a fantastic year. He played through a back injury in the Super Bowl. I mean, he did what was asked of him.
Surgery doesn't deter the contract.
No.
Okay.
He's getting paid. What is interesting though is if you extend Becton, you would have 5 offensive linemen on extended contracts and not 1 on a rookie deal. And I think that's where Tyler Steen comes in on the last year of his rookie deal to come in and play at right guard with the fact that he is going to be right guard. Yeah, you can pay Becton with that money, but the philosophy of having 5 offensive linemen on second contracts or third contracts does not make any sense. That's not the right way to do it.
Can you go a little bit deeper and explain why that philosophy does not work?
This should be pretty elementary. When you get a really good player on a rookie deal like Jalen Carter, you want to pay guys around him because eventually you have to pay him. And by the time you pay him, those around him should have expiring contracts. You can't keep everybody. That's the NFL. So right now we have Jalen Hurts on a extremely unique contract for the QBs. It's not like Mahomes. It's similar to Mahomes and Allen, but it's different the way it falls in. The guys that are getting real money are guys like A.J. Brown, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata got a raise. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Becton, they have to pay Juergens. They're going to pay Juergens. They have no reason to pay Becton. Let Becton go to the comp pick formula. Let him get paid by somebody else who's probably going to force him to play tackle, in which he's not going to be very good at it. And you win if you're the Eagles.
Agreed.
You can't save every player.
On the other side of that with Becton, is the thought is that because he's young, he's only
that he could
25,
potentially kick out. And
play
could
he kick out the lane?
I think that's where he has to accept a friendly deal from the team. And I think that's where I was talking about that slip of paper. $15 million a year, it looks like, but with a lower guaranteed with a lot of incentives.
So how many more? So you're slipping the paper, and I'm Becton. I'm looking. I'm the player, right? You're the GM. I'm the player.
Oh, it looks real good as far as your annual average value. You're up there with the top guards, but as far as actual cash that you're getting paid, it's going to be purely based on performance.
And I say, okay. And then you tell me, well, the real cash comes when Lane retires and you kick out.
No, you set the contract up there to where you renegotiate with Becton when Lane retires.
Right. So, and that kind of goes to my next thought is how long do you think we have for Lane?
He's talking like 3 more years, dude. I mean, he's talking strong, bro.
Yeah, that's what I felt. And then if I'm back there, am I waiting 3 more years?
When the Packers put in the tush push ban today, he's calling it out. I mean, he's all for it. So
yeah,
I mean, I think that your first round pick this year is more looking to the future at offensive line than Mekhi Becton is, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay. So we stay or go.
I'm going go.
Okay. I'm with you. I'm going to go too as well. I'm with you on that one. All right. Let me see who else we got here. Oh, got another good one. Oren Burks. Linebacker. Played well. Nakobe Dean. What was the injury when Nakobe Dean again? Knee? I forget which one is. Patellar tendon. Yeah. Which will go into next year, and he will be hurt, and he will not be ready for the start of
week
the
1 now.
He will not be ready. And obviously, you guys can already guess who I'm going to go right after Burks. right? Because I think it goes hand in hand. But let's start with the lower hanger fruit first. Played well. I think the first game out, he kind of with the switch when we all knew Dean got hurt, and kind of Dean actually became more. We've seen with them pulling back the curtain a little bit of the Eagles, we saw how big Dean was a leader of this defense. Of all the dogs on this defense, Dean was kind of the loudest dog out there, being the leader of the team. And then his performance even showed that. But man, Burks filled in admirably. I think he played well. Outside of that first game where he had to get his footing, and it's a kind of switch from special teams to being a starter. Took him some little bit, but he flashed. He flashed a couple times as well. I'm not sure what I want to do here. I think you have to. He has to stay, almost, right? I mean,
think Burks falls into the Isaiah Rodgers category, and I think that they have the ability to be paid by a lesser franchise on flash play. And what that means is they filled into roles while a team was hot, and they rolled with the heat, if that makes sense. And they played well. Oren Burks played really well. I just think that Oren Burks is what somebody else could pay him compared to what we could pay him. Now, mind you, this dude was a backup on the Niners last season when they went to the Super Bowl. So, he's, I don't know if he's chip chasing. I wouldn't really put it with him. But, I mean,
I thought he was with the Saints. Was he with the Saints? No, that was Bond. I'm sorry.
Bond. Yeah, no, Bond was with the Saints. Burks was with the Niners.
Right.
At a Vanderbilt. So, Burks is a good football player, man. I like him. I just think that there's a team out there like the Titans or somebody that would pay him, possibly like $4 million a year for 2 years, just to bring him in and let him play. And he's not going to come back to the Eagles. And again, Marcus Amir Walker with a great point here, talking about Jeremiah Trotter Jr. That's a guy that the Eagles believe in a lot. And that's a guy that Vic Fangio likes a lot. And that's a guy that they want to elevate and develop, quicker than others. The issue is
he's not better than Burks, though.
No, not at this point. But I mean, what somebody we can project a player to be through one offseason to another offseason. I mean, there's no telling. Warren Burks could take a step down. That could be the best season we've ever seen from him. And Trotter could take, the leap. I mean, we could be looking at potentially Trotter and Oren Burks maybe as our starting linebackers on week 1 until Nakobe Dean gets back. But I just think the inside off-ball linebacker position right now for the Eagles is pigeonholed, and I'm assuming we're going to Bond next. And I would just say he has the team by the balls right now as far as financial negotiating goes, because we got nothing, man. Right now, it's Jeremiah Trotter Jr., it's Nakobe Dean, Ben Van Sumeren, who's an exclusive rights free agent, so he'll be back, and then Dallas Gant, who is a super undersized off-ball linebacker that we signed in the futures contract. So they have nothing, man. I mean, it's not much.
Real quick, so just for people to know, talk about
Van Sumeren's also coming off a torn ACL, so that needs to be
Van Sumeren, exclusive rights, free restricted free agent. What is that?
It's undrafted free agent who is under contract through it's like in the NBA with the restricted free agents, you have the rights to the player before anybody else.
Yep.
The right to refusal is what it is.
Yeah, and then I think was it less than 3 years, I think, or something like that is added to that.
Yeah, it depends on the player.
Yeah,
it depends on whatever it is. But his current situation is he should be on his second year, so he would have 1 more year depending on how they negotiated their contract. So when they sign an undrafted free agent to an extension or whatever it may be, it based on that first, $150,000 or $250,000 they gave the player to come to camp. Once they make the team, they can extend them as an exclusive rights free agent, and they get right to first refusal each offseason.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay, man. I'll be honest. I think that I think like you said, looking at what we have from linebacker, right? You talked about Trotter. You talked about undersizing. Was it Gant? I think Dallas Gant, right?
Dallas Gant. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about a
training. Well, we can't even really, we practice team. We really don't know much about.
Played in a couple games this year, but I mean,
was it LSU? I saw. Was it LSU?
Dallas Gant.
Yeah, it was LSU guy, right?
No.
Toledo. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Toledo. My bad. Toledo. I'm thinking about Price, the running back for some reason. I don't know why. Toledo. But you have Trotter Jr. and then really just Bond as your healthy guys from a linebacker's perspective, and then you have Burks, right? And not only can Burks play, like you said, off-ball linebacker, but he's a special teams ace.
Yeah.
So to me, you lose a lot when you lose Burks, and not just, and we didn't even get the ball yet, but you lose a lot. This is versatility of, even if Trotter does come in, like you said, from year to year, takes a big leap and even leaps ahead of Burks, because not only does he leaps ahead of Burks in terms of what he can do on the field, but also they want to push him and kind of fast track him to get him on the field and play. Like missing Burks on special teams is still a big miss. So to me, I think you have to pay this guy. I think he stays. I'm not sure what his number would be, because I think he would argue that he would be the starting linebacker as he finished last year. He would expect to come back as a starting linebacker. So
I don't think you would expect to start here, but I think that the idea of getting paid elsewhere, it just depends on where his head's at, man.
Yeah, Lil G. Slay has one more year. It's just, we talked about that earlier in the show. Some of the money's kind of not funny, but they need to figure something out what to do with the money, with his bonus. So, but
he's not playing for $32 million or whatever it would be in cash next year.
I expect him to be back.
And he knows it. It's not. Yeah, he addressed it. I
expect him to be back. All right. I mean, we kind of already alluded to it, and you already kind of said it. This man has us by the balls. And right now, I had just to make sure that I looked it up. Top three are Roquan Smith, Fred Warner, and Tremont Edwards from the Bears. Matt Milano's up there as well in terms of top contracts in the NFL for inside linebacker. He played over 1,200 snaps. PFF has him ranked number 1 out of all 84. Went Pro Bowl, went All Pro, had a fantastic year. Had a pick in the Super Bowl. I mean, is it a blank check at this point?
No.
Not a blank check? Will Bond go down as after this year, because they have to re-sign him? I'm gonna stay with Bond. Will he be the highest paid linebacker in the NFL?
No.
No?
No, there's not a fucking chance Zach Bond is going to be the highest paid linebacker in the NFL. That's not.
Give me the contract, man. What a Bond contract look like?
I think he's going to ask for 3 for $45. He's going to want $15 million a year, 3 for $45, with like $30 million guaranteed. That's what I think he's going to want. What he's going to get, I don't know. I don't think the Eagles are going to be as friendly. I mean, I don't know if
we never have with linebackers.
They're not friendly with off-ball linebacker.
Yeah, we never have.
But Bond is 1 year of production, at a position that he'd never played, and he had an outstanding year. I think the only thing, he could. Bond's a tricky one. I think that ultimately they go into this offseason with the idea of extending, and re-signing Zach Bond.
I agree.
Bringing him back. I just think it's going to be one of those things where they're going to approach him as if, man, if you really want to, and TJ Edwards is a great example there.
I think it's a bad example because TJ was hurt a lot.
Nah, TJ was
hurt a lot here.
No, he was
every time he got going, he got hurt here.
TJ Edwards
did well in Minnesota. He did well in Arizona.
Really good development story. TJ Edwards was Blankenship before Blankenship. TJ Edwards.
But TJ never put a season here together. That was the problem with TJ.
Yeah, he did. That's why he got paid by Chicago, and we chose not to pay him.
I agree with not trying to pay him. It's getting me to the Nolan Smith.
Did you enjoy Nick Morrow and Zach Cunningham and Shaq Leonard?
I did not, but
yeah,
TJ Edwards has carved out a decent career
He's
from what
a damn good linebacker. The
what
NFL guys respect TJ Edwards. That's all I care about.
I wouldn't disagree, but what I saw when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles was a guy who got hurt. Is what I saw. Right?
Yeah.
I thought he was in Arizona. He only played for Chicago.
Talking about Kaiser White?
He went to Chicago after
talking
us.
About Kaiser White, or are you talking about Kaiser White never got hurt? TJ Edwards was an undrafted
No, I'm
free
talking
agent.
about TJ Edwards. I swore he played somewhere else.
No, he was an undrafted
No,
free
I know
agent.
who TJ Edwards was. I'm just saying I
never
know.
played anywhere
I
else.
Played,
got
I
paid
thought
by
he played
Chicago.
somewhere else.
It hasn't been that long since we were in the Super Bowl, and I'm not talking about the most recent one.
Damn. Guess he did.
Kaiser
I'm
White
looking at the numbers.
left
Look,
for the
numbers
Cardinals
look
and
silly.
Jonathan Gannon.
Numbers look silly. Numbers look silly. He played all. He actually played all.
Yeah.
He played actually. They actually moved him from middle linebacker in that 20. Well, at least that's what it's labeled. He played right outside linebacker.
He played for the Bears.
22.
Well,
Yeah, he played for the Bears. This is 2 years for the Bears. All games too. Started and played all 17 last 2 years.
Real good football player.
I digress. Yeah, I digress. You know what? It might be Jordan Hicks. I'm talking about, Marcus. You might be right.
Exactly
it might be.
What you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
He was always
Jordan Hicks.
Third.
They kind of look alike, right? Middle linebacker. Yeah, that's
they
you're
look
right.
about
You're
right. Both light skin.
Yeah, they actually kind of look alike now.
58 and 57. I mean, we're real close.
Yeah, we're getting. Yeah. That's who I'm talking about. Jordan Hicks has been the journey, not the journeyman, but he's been around the block. You're right.
Yeah.
Good call. I forget it was Hicks that I was talking about, but yeah. I mean, I think no. I mean, I think TJ was a mistake, but I mean that's been Howie's MO. He doesn't really do the linebacker thing, and it would be really shocking.
Howie. It goes back. They did let Zach Bond. He was gifted Bill Lambert's chain,
right?
That golden eagle or whatever. So,
all right. So we're stay right.
I'm in an optimistic world. We pay Zach Bond a team-friendly contract that looks like it's good. I'm going to compare it to Foyesade Oluokun from Jacksonville. Signed a 3 for $30, $8 million signing bonus, $21 million guaranteed. He was 28 at signing, although he had 3 seasons of 100-plus tackles before signing, 5 seasons of full-time off-ball linebacker play. Zach Bond
really think he plays nice?
What?
You really think Zach Bond plays nice and does something team-friendly?
I mean, depends on where a team comes from. I mean, team friendly, like there's two ways to talk about it. Jalen Hurts' AAV is really high, but he signed a team friendly deal.
Okay.
Do you think Jalen Hurts' money is team friendly when you look at it from an annual average? No. I mean, he's making $52 million a year annually average. But when it comes down to cash, it works. I think there's a chance that Zach Bond takes a quote unquote team friendly deal, but his annual average value will be, I mean, hopefully around Matt Milano is where I'd say.
Okay.
He's going to be 29, I mean, this isn't a 25, 24-year-old kid like Roquan was when he got paid.
All right.
Now, Jihad Campbell out of Alabama, though, that would be my preferred replacement if we were to let him walk.
Yeah, I think Marcus
said something destroy the combine.
Did he say something about Campbell? I thought you said
he
something.
Said something about South Carolina and Campbell.
No, he said South Carolina Campbell.
I don't know a South Carolina Campbell. I know a TJ Slater or TJ Slayton out of South
Maybe
Carolina.
that's who he was talking about. Who knows?
No, he's a defensive tackle. That's a different position.
Yeah.
There's only one Jihad Campbell.
Let's get some love to a long snapper, bro.
I mean, it's up to him, dude. We're like Travis Kelce has till what date? I'm sure they gave him a date. You know what I mean? Like,
let's get some love to a long snapper, man.
2-time Super Bowl champ. That's 2-time Super Bowl champ, Rick Lovato.
Right.
2-time Super Bowl champ, Rick Lovato, man.
Yeah, he stays. He's been around for
We'll
a couple
see.
years.
I mean, it's up to him. It's up to him. But like that does like fuck them up. Like, trust me, that you want to talk about the whole Jake Elliott thing and all that? Like, oh yeah,
absolutely, it's huge.
Extended last offseason. Usually the Eagles do their specials in cycle, but I believe from what I understand now is Rick Lovato is given year to year right now.
Yeah, he comes back.
It's up to him.
Yeah, he comes back. He's not.
He's a really nice guy, by the way. He's like one of the coolest dudes. Like
Dornbos was here for what? Almost 15 years? Was it? I forget how long Dornbos was. Oh, easily a decade. Who was before Dornbos? You remember?
I don't know before Dornbos, dude. You're killing me right now. You're talking about. I mean, these two are kind of all I've had.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember. Because I feel like the long snapper, like they just stick.
Yeah. I believe a fun one was today. Shaq Thompson. Did you see the Panthers released him?
No.
So Shaq Thompson, linebacker for the Panthers. He was a staple linebacker. He just got released, and J.J. Jansen becomes the last player on the roster from their 2015 Super Bowl appearance in the Cam Newton MVP year, and he signed an extension. So long snappers, they stick around for a while.
Yeah, they stick around. I'll say stay. That's an easy stay, I think, as well. Backup lineman, Mr. Clark.
Is this a joke or what are we doing here? He didn't play. He hasn't played a snap in 2 seasons.
Hey man, I'm just going through the free agents, bro.
No. I know, but is this a joke? Like this is like a if you know, you know.
Laverian Clark.
LaRaven Clark.
I'm sorry, LaRaven.
LaRaven
Clark.
Yeah.
LaRaven Clark. 8 years pro, Texas Tech.
Yeah. Hasn't played a snap in how many years?
All right, so okay. Hey, we're going through the list.
No. But what? Where are you getting this list? Because this is a exclusive free agent here. I mean, he was injured in OTAs. Actually, is where they
he is listed. He is listed as an unrestricted free agent.
That's awesome.
That's all I'm saying. He is listed.
I can't believe a picture of him playing with jersey.
How about this one? I got another one for you. Funny guy over there. What about CJ?
I mean,
no. Putting shame to that number.
Yeah, I mean that.
Putting shame to the number.
That was a preseason. He wore 47 during the year.
Here's a good one though. Mr. Driscoll.
I expect Jack Driscoll to be back.
If I'm memory serves me correctly.
I mean, he got hurt though. Actually, hold on. He got hurt.
He did.
I'd have to go through my phone to figure out what exactly it was. But no, he suffered a season-ending injury, like week 18, I think. He did.
Yeah, I think I actually read that about Jack.
He's a big stout guy though. Jack Driscoll was I'd call him a successful.
Because they put him on. And I think you're right. Week 17, 18, they put him on injured reserve.
Yeah, because he played one of those games. He had to fill in at the end or whatever it was, and he got hurt.
Yeah, here it is. Doing the roster moves. When was this? This was in January 10th. They put Jack Driscoll on with an ankle injury on injured reserve.
Huh.
Appeared in 13 games with 1 start. Now,
ankle could be Achilles though, and I don't remember it being Achilles. So,
yeah, I don't remember hearing about it being Achilles.
I know that's what Bradbury's was.
Did they? He can play every position though, right? On the line.
The Dolphins tried him at center, but yeah, I mean he's played about every position. So is Brett Toth.
He's going. I'm trying to steal Kyle Pitts from. Man, I don't want Kyle Pitts. Tell Kyle Pitts. Stay.
Yeah, I mean he's on a first. That costs a lot of money. Pick 4. You just remember he was drafted 4th overall. All Eagles fans trying to snipe Kyle Pitts. You got to pay the man.
Yeah, I'm good with Pitts. All right, cuz I'll check you out. Appreciate you showing up, man. As always. Yeah, I feel like he's played every position on the offensive line, right? even center. I feel like he was like he
Well,
could
like
play
the
center.
Dolphins signed him as a center, so like he
Yeah.
was getting rep, but the Eagles have not done anything with him at center.
Okay, but he
Jeff
can play.
Stoutland does not view him.
But he can play every position on the offensive line.
He's mainly a right guard, right tackle, but he can play all four.
All four. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, he stays. You don't find guys like that. And like you said, he's a Stoutland.
Depending on
Stoutland
what
man.
the ankle injury looks like, or whatever that foot injury could be.
Yeah.
We'll see. They retained Brett Toth for a reason, so I don't know. For like the 7th year in a row.
All right. We only got a couple more left, so stay with us here. We're going through the whole list. Still got a couple big names left that you guys all know. And then we'll talk about some of the other guys who are voided contracts, restricted free agents, and we'll run through that. But I think we got a pretty good list of stay and go. Mr. Avonte Maddox. I think he's as good as gone. I think the writing's been on the wall for a while. With Cooper, and he just like I was a big Maddox fan, but he definitely fell off. And we've talked about how the league is a year-to-year league, and
his foot injury of 2022 set him back big time. He made a big tackle on CeeDee Lamb, and I can't remember what game it was. It was the injury that he had before he came back for the Super Bowl. And ever since then, he was just never the same player. He had always had that lost step. It was shown on tape. Highly instinctual, great teammate, versatile player. He can play free safety and he can play slot. I think there's a chance they bring him back for camp and see what he does. I know Vic Fangio likes Avonte Maddox, so
I think he's gone. I'm
gonna go stay.
I'm gonna say,
for camp. I mean, I'm not talking about he's making the 53 next year, but I mean camp. Yeah, I could see that.
But see, my thing is that I think somebody will give him a shot to start.
They don't have a backup nickel, and no one did that last year. So I don't think anybody is going to take their play from Avonte Maddox. I mean, he went to the Saints for a visit, and he tried out, and they said no, and he came back to the Eagles with that same number, which I believe was somewhere around $3.5 million, and that was renegotiated down to like $1.5 million, and he signed with the Eagles. So,
and even so, like you said, when it goes to camp, some of these guys who are veterans, who know how to start, who know how to play, they just wait. Injuries happen every year.
The only backup nickel they have is Perry Nickerson right now, who was a vet they signed to a futures deal, even though he's like 30, but he's a Vic Fangio guy. Right now, he's Cooper DeJean's backup if we looked at the roster as it is today. So that has to be taken into account. I mean, Vic likes true nickels. And so right now you have Cooper DeJean and you have Avonte Maddox. Or, Perry Nickerson. So Avonte Maddox right now, going into free agency before the draft, I could see him being a guy they wanted to bring into camp. But easily cuttable.
Okay. Mr. Campbell. Gone.
That's a Nick Sirianni guy.
It is.
It's a Nick Sirianni guy. We'll see. He might come back to camp. I don't know. They're a little light on receiver right now.
They are. Damn, why is his name dropping out of my head? Old boy from Penn State.
Dotson.
He's
got
another year, right?
One more year. They have his 5th year option to pick up or decline. They will decline that.
They will decline it. You think?
Yeah, it would be $23 million. I think.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Not.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett's is like $22 million. Jordan Davis is like 11.7. So Davis will be the one to.
You think they bring back Dot? So who you think they bring back Dotson on something?
Well, Dotson is coming. He's still under contract for this year. The 5th year option is for next year's deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought this was the 5th year option coming up.
No. They have the 5th year option the year ahead of time, so they can choose to add a year to the 1 year deal they have left.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we almost been going through the list here, bruh. We got last one. Save the best for last. I don't want you to sweat it out. You like what I did there? Sweat it out. Mr. Josh Sweat. And it's interesting, too, because of the news of Nolan Smith tearing his tricep.
That's nothing. He's gone.
I do agree with you. I think he's gone. I think he wants to get
There's
paid.
no way. He's going to – there will be a team, and I'm going to mention the Tennessee Titans again because I don't think they have strong decision makers at the top. There's going to be somebody that overpays Josh Sweat. He's younger than anybody thinks he is. I can promise you that. I think
26,
27 going on 28. He's a really good football player. For those who know, he was the number one player in high school coming out. He has a bone-on-bone knee condition that causes the leg to drag at times if he's overplayed in snaps. 2023's tape towards the end was really, really bad, showed a lot of bad signs. He tested the market, came back to the Eagles with his tail between his legs and accepted the deal. I don't think it's going to be that way this time. I think somebody pays Josh Sweat.
I agree. I think somebody pays Josh Sweat. Right now, PFF has him out of 821 snaps. He's graded 36 out of 119 edge rushers, looking at close to almost $20 million per year on his contract, which makes a lot of sense. Can never have enough pass rushers. I don't. Do you think somebody pays him as an end at that three as a outside linebacker or a hand in the dirt guy? He's actually a true tweener. He can do both.
Yeah, he's a true tweener, so he can do either or. It won't. That's where I think he's a lock to get paid, like him and Milton Williams too. Their positional versatility allows them to. They're going to get paid.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head who's in the market for. Well, I guess right now the talk says Bosa's going to be released, so Chargers are probably going to be in the market for a pass rusher. Falcons,
Cleveland, I'd watch.
Atlanta makes a lot of sense.
Atlanta, big time.
Yeah, Atlanta
Cleveland.
Atlanta makes a lot of sense. I think the
New York, the Jets.
Yeah, I guess the Jets because
the Niners.
Reddick is gone, right?
The Niners could be somebody. Yeah, the Reddick is gone.
Yeah, Reddick's gone. I'm trying to think of some other teams off the top of my head. All those ones do make sense, though. All those ones do make sense for sure. But yeah, no, I think he's a go for sure. I think he's an absolute go for sure. I think it is interesting about Nolan though, because what is that?
Just torn tricep though.
Second season-ending injury in 3 years? Right, his first year, he was injured pretty much. No. He's only been in the league 2 years, right?
Yeah, we talking about, man.
Yeah, so he's been hurt every year. He's been in the league.
Time moves faster for you. What happened last year?
He was in and out with a shoulder injury.
He had a shoulder injury from college.
Yeah, that followed him into his first year in the pros. He played, but he was still he was banged up.
He played, but that was they knew that when they drafted him. That was why he was projected top 15 and he fell to 30. But they had to play him because that's all they had.
Yeah, well.
You just Nolan Smith hater.
Nolan
Smith hater.
All that Nolan. I was about to run and get. I still might run and get a Nolan Smith jersey just because he showed up and showed out in the Super Bowl. And I saw a post where, which is surprising to me, but compared to some of the great pass rushers that we have in this league, he has more sacks than the Crosbys, the T.J. Watts, the Parsons. Trying to think of somebody else that they had.
But still.
These are all in playoff numbers.
Yeah,
he had an insane run, broke a Eagles record for most playoff sacks in a season with 4.5. So, numbers don't lie. I can't take anything away from the kids. Numbers don't lie. All right, so those were all the unrestricted free agents. Our takes, stay or go. And then any type of contract conversation. So there's only a couple left I think is worth talking about.
Only be two.
Really just I guess two. I guess the one we got to respect to the legend.
B would
BG.
That.
What do you think? He retires or you think he tries to make it a run back? It's hard for him not to retire on top.
I think he retires.
I think he retires too. I think it would be smart. I think he wants to go again.
Yeah,
but you can't write this story any better.
Nah, I'm gonna put it to you like this: his girl ain't letting him play one more
Probably not. Probably
His
not.
girl ain't letting him play.
And he's a neighborhood guy, right? I'm out in Delco, so I know he's surfacing around here as well. But yeah, no,
He's a great
I agree with you. Like I get the gist of the repeat is definitely on the table because we're here and how good this
Yeah,
roster
but
is.
don't let 2023 happen again, man.
But don't let you either get an injury
18 won't good either. So don't,
or you're a shell of yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go out on the high on the high end. You couldn't write the story any better. You got to play in the game. It's not like you were in the sideline. You got to play in the game as well and be a part of the team.
Shortest tricep tear comeback with the shortest full tricep tear comeback since Ray Lewis. So
yeah.
I don't. There ain't no better way to put it.
We were talking about Bradbury was the other one.
No, I was saying Britton Covey. Well, I mean Bradbury's contract is regardless. We don't need to talk about
I got Britton Covey as restricted.
But Britton Covey, RFA, restricted free agent. It's because he was signed as a undrafted free agent and made the team. That's why he still has that deal. We touched on Van Sumeren earlier. I expect both to be in camp this year. Van Sumeren rehabbing his knee. I believe it's a left or right ACL. And then Covey is nursing the neck injury that kept him out for a really long time. And he was never medically cleared this year. So interesting to see how that goes into next season.
And with restricted free agent, the Eagles have an opportunity to match any deal he might get.
He ain't getting.
I'm just saying, but that's
it would in that sense, but with his, it's more of a they could put a tender on him if they wanted to. They could put an RFA tender where if a team wanted to pay him the RFA tender, they would have to give him a draft pick. That's how it works.
Yeah,
it's not
happening.
Nobody's doing that, man.
Yeah.
They're going to exercise it. They're going to give him his $1.5 million fully guaranteed, and Britton Covey's going to be back. So it just is what it is. He's going to take that money.
I feel you. I mean, I think we went through the whole list. I don't think I missed anybody. I mean, there's some other ones that are out there, but
no, we touched on everything, dude. I mean, there's a lot. There's a couple contracts like Kari Blossom game and stuff that don't matter because that's those were practice squad guys that weren't resigned. No little stuff. I mean, we have combine today. Guys are coming in, starting to trickle in for the weigh process. So that's gonna be big. Couple names to watch out. I'll throw out two for Eagles fans. I'm gonna go. Already mentioned in the chat. Linebacker Jihad Campbell, Alabama. I'm gonna go defensive lineman Walter Nolan, Ole Miss. Those are two to just kind of watch out for. As the offensive line goes, I'm gonna go Josh Simmons, Ohio State, depending on the knee, and then Josh Connerly, Oregon, and Armand Membu, Minnesota. It's 3 offensive linemen because I think we're going to be possibly looking at that. So it'll
okay.
It's going to be a good process.
Was Simmons the
free
one
agency in 2 weeks?
Was Simmons the one who took because of the physical? Was he the one who took a hit where his draft stock is falling?
Yeah, because they got to figure his knee out.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing about that.
Really good talent. Just got to figure the knee out. But Howie and the Eagles tend to not be afraid of. They want their doctors to judge that kind of stuff. They don't. They don't really care what the rest of the league says. So even though they told the rest of the league that DK Metcalf wasn't fit to play in the NFL, but that was a few years ago. So
right, and the new league begins March 12th. Tampering.
Yep. March 10th is the tampering period. So that's Monday at noon.
Birthday. Good day.
It's your birthday?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a wild day.
Yeah, it's a wild day. Tampering starts March 10th. Franchise tags and transitional tags are March 4th. Cap for the Eagles are 19.5 or roughly around 19, 20
Somewhere
million.
around 19.5. And that will be, I think somebody in the chat talked about Bradbury can free up some money. You extend Juergens, that frees up money. He's set to make like $5.8 million. So you lower that base salary to 1 point something. That's what he was talking about, freeing up $4 million. That's an extension you've signed the player to. They don't have a lot of restructures to do. It's not really there. So we'll see what can happen. But, Howie tends to be a bit of a magician with the cap, even though I hate when people say that. But him and his team do a great job of manipulating the cap.
Yeah, and the cap is going from 277.5 to 281.5.
That money last year, some people could say, helped us sign Bryce Huff. But we fucked up on that. So now we don't have that luxury again.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he shows up. Maybe he shows up this coming year.
Maybe they trade him for Myles Garrett. He's worked in that Myles
Yeah,
Garrett.
I mean, they won't trade him, but we'll see. Give me Crosby. Crosby's been flapping the Eagles' wings everywhere. So
He calls himself the Crow or something like that. That's why he does that. Or
I like the dream. I like the dream. He's a Philly guy. He would fit right in. 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 If you guys don't know, the shop is up. Merch shop is up at www.money. I said money pet. That's terrible. That was terrible. Oh man. Whew. Let's get that back up. Moneypotbetting.com. Moneypetbetting.com. I don't know what you're going to get from that. Hopefully it's no touch me or something like that. It could be a cold world out there. It'll hit something. I'll tell you that. You can type anything in the internet, it'll hit something. But www.moneypotbetting.com. The new hoodies are official, are up there. You know what I mean? Hats. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We got all kinds of shirts up there, so make sure you guys go check us out on the site. And then remember, the site's going to be ever evolving. We're going to be adding more content on there, maybe even some membership exclusive stuff for those who sign up for things like that. So good ways to support your boys. So with that being said, man, I mean, I think the off season is upon us and is going to kick off. Next week will be kind of a recap of what we saw from the combine, right? March 4th? No. March 2nd.
Yeah, we'll do a little draft talk, little free agent talk. That's what I'm looking forward to. A little draft, little more free agent, because we're gonna be a week kind of in there. Hopefully we'll have some deals done that we can talk about. Maybe we'll have some serious fires, in the oven. But we should have some fun stuff next Monday.
Yeah, and I want to get into I think a lot of people get on the internet and get on social media and just share film, right? Because they saw somebody else do film. I've actually been in the trenches watching film for years. I know how to break down film and look at film. So I want to get into a little bit of film study and give it out to the big sexies, man. I want to give out to
I think it's a good year to do that too, because this is a heavy defensive line, offensive line. It's a heavy trenches class.
Yeah.
I've got some guys I'd really be curious to what you think about, hand usage, point of attack, kind of the whole thing.
Yeah. And I'm going to stay in my wheelhouse. I mean, I can look at offensive linemen, kick step.
No. I'm talking about let's talk D-line for the Eagles, because I mean, we both said Milton Williams is going to walk.
Yep.
So he's got to be replaced. Moro Jomo obviously is the next step, but as a 7th round contract, that's not necessarily the next thing.
Right.
They have 2 first rounders on the D-line, and they're not afraid to add another. So
yeah, no, I agree. We love drafting D linemen. So hopefully, get into that breakdown for next week. Wednesday will be our game of the night show, and hopefully Thursday this week or the following Thursday, we'll have some college basketball betting and or WNBA. We're going to get into WNBA for myself. If you guys want to bet WNBA, hey, learn it with me. I'm not going to kind of sugarcoat it and say I know it going off the gate. I'm going to learn it as I go and figure it out, and we'll see if we can make some money. So for myself,
Reese meal at McDonald's, I will learn through that, and we will figure out the WNBA as well as everything else.
For myself, I'm Moss Money. That's Ernie B. This is Victory Monday. We'll see you guys next week for some combine talk. Have a good night, everybody.